Hello, everyone. I'll be starting the session in just a couple of seconds. So, Dirk, I think we can start the session now. First of all, just wanted to thank you for your time today. I know it's a busy period.
It
I
is,
have a
yeah.
lot we have a lot of events that you're actually going through right now. But yeah, if you can give us a bit of an introduction about yourself, I think that's a good place to start, and then we can begin. And I have a couple of questions for you that will provide, I would say, some clarity with regards to the session today.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you for having me, and very nice that I can share my experiences with you today. Well, actually, we have a big management company in the Netherlands, and we actually do the management of four associations at the moment, and they are all active in the event industry. So we work predominantly for corporate members. So all the banks, all the financial institutions, and a lot of associations also. And actually, what we do a lot of events for our members because of they are event managers, but also because we believe that running a great association, you need to do a lot of events to really get connected with your members and also to feel like the added value and to exchange knowledge between the members. So it's a bit of a strange thing that we do, that we organize events for event managers. So they're very critical about everything. But that's
Yeah.
mainly some things we will discuss along the road, I guess, because that also put a lot of demand on the event part of Glue Up.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you need to be picture perfect, especially that, if it's an event for event managers, 100% agree that that's
Yeah,
going to be in terms of demands and making sure that expectations are met
yeah, that's
from
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, really appreciate the introduction. I just wanted to kind of start the conversation today and kind of ask you, at what point did you make the decision that you wanted to look at other technology platforms? And I would say a follow-up on that, what brought you to make this decision as well?
Well, I think the main thing about that is that I think everybody knows that who is watching that you have a lot of tools to do your work. And I was counting the tools that we use to do our work, and I think we had like 35 business apps running to do like our association part. There was everything from a great CRM system till communications, newsletters, administrations, now everything you can think about. So there was a lot of databases and a lot of things happening, but it was quite a hassle to keep everything updated with the last information, especially because we work with a team of 4 or 5 people, so everything needs to be up to date.
Yeah.
So we actually took the challenge to go down from 35 tools to one tool. So that was like the big exercise that has to be made. So that was quite difficult because you actually are looking for firstly a great CRM system, I guess, because that's like the main part you need to do. Then especially for us, the event tools need to be great. And then of course you do a lot of communications also. So that was also like a big factor in all of it. And that's actually where the search began for a tool. So it started actually internal with, wouldn't it be nice that we have an app for our members? That was like the very first thing we noticed. And then after that, everything came together and it was okay, are we actually looking for an app? Another platform. So that was like part number 36, if you look from that way. Or are we
Yeah.
going to go to the next step and put everything together and have one integrated experience also for the members, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that's the most important thing in terms of, I would say, running an association of the is the membership experience and overall kind of enabling your members to have better engagement between themselves as well. Yeah, I mean, 35 login details is quite a lot unless you have the same username and password for all of them.
Yeah. So, that was great, but I think also that is from our side, from the management company. But we also noticed for our members, they had like a login for the website, a login for some apps, a login for so also for them. It was
Mhm.
quite a hassle. And what you notice then is that if it's too difficult for members because they're quite busy, they don't use it at all. And that was
Yeah.
also something we noticed, that we had a lot of possibilities to communicate with each other. But
Mhm.
because of the sheer amount of logins, people just don't use it because it's too big of a hassle. Oh, what was the password? I don't remember anymore. Okay, well then they just don't use it. And that's really a shame. And that's what we really noticed. Yeah.
I mean, with regards to that, I completely appreciate it. And yeah, having something a bit more centralized always helps, right? In terms of narrowing down, especially in your specific scenario where you had so many platforms and so many tools that, just seems never ending in terms of logins and things like that. And
Yeah.
with regards to this question, I was just keen to ask you, at some point throughout the, I would say, evaluating process, right? What were the first steps that you kind of took when evaluating other platforms, apart from the fact that you wanted to narrow down from 35 different solutions and so on? Were there other key criteria you're looking at when selecting it?
Yeah, I think for us the main part was of course the app. So that was like a very hard detail that we want to have a dedicated app for our members, because I always say that you can't get closer to your members unless you're on their phone in their pocket all the time. So it's also a bit of the 24/7 economy that you're always near to your members. So that was like the prime thing, I guess. And we were also very spoiled actually with our current event tooling. So
Mhm.
so the event chapter really needs to be on par, even not better than what we had. So that were like the two biggest challenges, I guess, because
Mhm.
there are actually a lot of community-based systems. But what you notice that they're either very strong in communications or very strong in events, but not that strong in very other departments.
Mhm.
And I also think if you look at value for money, because we actually had extensive research, there are also tools that are very expensive and only capable if you have like thousands and thousands of members and a lot of money to spend on software. But that was
Mhm.
also that really crossed my mind at the end of the day was, is it even possible if you have like 800 members as we have to get tooling, because it was so expensive everywhere. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it was a feasible option in terms of it, but it did
Yeah.
cross your mind at some point. Okay.
Yeah.
And first that, have you been in a position where, once you started looking for, a new system, have you considered kind of actually stopping the search and trying to work again, or trying one last effort in terms of using your old way of working, I would say, at this stage? Or the decision have already been made? So once you said, we're gonna move out, or was there a point where you kind of contemplated on, we have 35 different tools, but we're already comfortable working with this? In terms of change, was that something that you considered, or was it just a decision of moving forward and that's it?
Yeah, well, I think if you have a search for a new software application, especially if it touches all the facets of an association, running an association, it you go down the rabbit hole. So you start searching
Yeah.
with an app, then you see a CRM system, then you move on. So yeah, there were some times that we thought, I don't know if this is reachable for us. But at the end of the day, yeah, we found GlueUp and we started really digging into, me especially. I just searched the help part of your website, so you can really see what all the features are and what the feature set is, and that way we started orientating and getting yeah, very stoked on just try it and implementing it. Because at the end of the day, I think everybody who is in association management will recognize it, is that uh, members expect more and more every day from you as an association management company. They want to be served at a high level. But we also notice that you only have so many people to do it, right? So, and that's like a big challenge over here. You want to service everybody on a very high level because they're used to that. but also with just a team of 3, 4 people. So it's also puts a lot of pressure on your organization. So
Of
we were
course.
also really looking for some time saving aspects, because if we save time doing administrative work, you can spend it actually on the members themselves, because that's the only thing you can buy is like attention. So we really
Mhm,
want to add more attention to our member base, and by automating a lot of our work, that
mhm,
actually really happened. So that's actually what we are noticing right now, that we are saving time and have more time to do other things. Yeah.
mhm. I mean, I wanted to ask you one thing in terms of automation, because this is something that I wanted, I would say, your personal input as well. In terms of automation, in some cases, organizations feel that automation might lose its personal touch towards its members. Do you think that that would be the case?
Uh, well, I actually disagree. I think you need to automate everything that is boring and not that useful for your members. And what we actually do, for instance, in the welcome email, if people become member of the association, we use the template in GlueUp. And what we actually do is we put in the standard information, of course, but we also put in a link directly to my agenda to make like a call to get to know each other. So if you
Mhm,
use automation to get more personal attention to your members, I think that's a great thing. But a lot of times, if we think about automation, we think it's a shortcut to don't do your work anymore, but it's actually helping you to do your work more efficiently, I guess. And that's the
mhm.
way we use it. So actually, if you ask me, I only want more automation in the group to be added, because then you can really focus on what really matters, and that's the attention part. Yeah.
Mhm. Appreciate it. But yeah, 100% agree. Automation doesn't, it's usually associated with, taking shortcuts and not necessarily, focusing on it. But a lot of the time it's just to free up space to actually focus on, the membership experience, or, getting to go in and receive that information from your members and how you can improve and move forward together in a way
Yeah.
in which they feel like they're appreciated of being a member from your association as well. So yeah. And I wanted to ask you, how did you hear of Glow Up, and what were your initial impressions once you heard about it?
Yeah, we were actually, it was a very excessive search on Google, lots of the times. And I think we first started searching for apps, then we started searching for maybe another CRM package. And at the end of the day, I started searching really on association management software, and that was the moment we stumbled across GlueUp, and that was the moment we started watching some demos on YouTube actually, and we really start to see the benefits of not copying your database every time you need to do host an event, or copying your, but take the database as your primary source of information, and then start working on that. So that was like first time we really said, okay, this is what we need to have. We really need to have like association management software, and not event management software and CRM and a campaign software. And then that was the point we thought, okay, this is the way forward, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of it, it seems like you're, if you started looking dispersed again, like, one tool here, one tool there, you're going to go back to that rabbit hole and reaching those 35 tools again.
Yeah. But I also
From
think, but maybe I'm wrong. You don't have a lot of competition in this market, because it's quite a total package that you're offering. And most other packages are really, okay, you can start over there and you can add something with a Zapier account, and then, yeah, you can integrate it. But there's not like a one-stop shop if you look at association management, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different things, and we usually go by client feedback in terms of every time we use to push forward and working on our product roadmap. It's always based on, I would say, customer feedback, and kind of looking on the market on what nonprofit organizations are kind of doing at that particular stage, because we work with a variety of different, membership-based organizations overall. So then we try to get it, it's not a one fits all approach, but as we move forward, developing new functionality, I think we're going to be getting closer and closer to that specific point as well. But it's going to take a while, right? So yeah, but we're still going to be progressing on that without any issues. So we're not going to just stop where we are right now. So, but yeah, what other features and functionalities were you looking for in search for a new solution? I know you've mentioned the mobile app, and I would say the events management side of things because of the industry that you're representing, right, for event managers
Yeah.
and communication and community building. Were there other functionalities or features that you'd be looking at apart from the automation, anything in particular?
Yeah, we actually had a very extensive and good CRM before, but what we really missed was like an overhead view, from the data side of things, how we were doing. So how are the memberships doing? How many have churned? What was the last time a member visited an event, for instance? So we actually really like the dashboards because that really gives us an insight on what's happening with everybody. And it actually helps us to do our work better because we can now literally call people which we haven't seen for a while. And that was information which we didn't really had before. And now it's just integrated and it's very clear, all the information. So we made our own dashboard up for the things that are very important to us. And yeah, you actually have like an overhead view of the most important parts about running an association. So that's something we really, really like. And also simple data from what is like a no-show rate with events, because that really helps you to save money if you are hosting an event. If you know that from the past 5, 6 events, you have like a no-show rate of 5 or 10%, you know what you need to buy for that event. And yeah, a lot of that data really helps us do our own work greater. So that's like a part which we really like. And normally data isn't very sexy, but the way it's presented, it really helps you to get the best out of the association, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And with regards to that, how was your overall onboarding experience with GlueUp?
Yeah, it was quite good. I thought, but that's more for myself. I thought that I really had things good arranged in the past CRM. But then you start integrating and then you see the way it's organized. It's much clearer within GlueUp. So there was actually a lot of mutations being happening during the import. But now everything stands, is more clearer than ever. So the onboarding went quite smooth. But I expected for myself that I had every data point very correctly, but that wasn't the case. So there was actually a lot of homework in preparing for the import. But actually, when things were imported, it was a breeze, and you actually see from the get-go how you're doing. So that's also interesting to see, I guess. Yeah.
And how much time did you allocate for the overall transition, like moving from your past system, like your former systems, I would say
Yeah.
transitioning into GlueUp?
I think everything combined, and that's not to, I think I spent like 6 weeks actually doing the big transfer, but most of the time was spent updating my old data set, so it was ready for GlueUp actually, because the GlueUp import, that's also a little bit frustrating. You're working for 6 weeks on a data set, then you just import it and then it works. So it's also the GlueUp part goes very fast, but before you're ready for GlueUp, that's like the main thing, and you really need to take some time to prepare yourself. Yeah.
Okay. And would there be anything that you would do differently or advice that you would share with others at this stage in terms of, I don't know, onboarding process or overall experience so far?
Yeah, I think with us, because the main challenge was all the information stored around all those 35 apps need to be combined, of course, in that one import, and that is what took so much time to do. So I think if you have less apps and you have one big database, I think it can be up and running in like 2, 3 weeks max. So it really helps to get your data straight before you make the migration. Yeah.
Mhm. So in terms of it, it would be more on data, having the data clean in terms of
Yeah.
doing the. And apart from that, would there be anything else that you might wanna give advice on regarding or was just the import of data and cleaning the data the most time-consuming task? Was there anything else in terms of it, or was
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, I think, but that's also a great thing at the end of the day, I guess. It also, if I look at the internal organization, you also have a lot of discussions during this period about how your processes are being handled. So what would you like? What is like the mail when people become member? What is like the communication you want to have? What is like the flow you want within your events?
Mm-hmm.
So it also, but that was more like a positive thing. It really helped us internally to have the discussions about, yeah, what do we actually want? And because of
Mm-hmm.
some things are automated, you really need to think about what's like the quality you want to achieve. So
Yeah.
that was also very interesting to just have the discussions about, okay, what information is being sent when, and how do you want to communicate with your members. So that was also interesting because before that it was like, yeah, we just do what was our gut feeling, and now we really need to think about, okay, how do you want this to be organized in the system? And that really helped us to get that straight. So the quality actually went up because we were
Yeah.
challenged to think about processes. Yeah.
I mean, with regards to that, I know that sometimes in associations, processes are not necessarily highly prioritized, right? In terms
No.
of it. So sometimes, as you mentioned, we send it whenever, whatever. But it seems that more of a structured approach is kind of tied up to having a key to success a bit in terms of saving time as well. Because,
Yeah.
the more structured approach you have, the more visibility in terms of a clear road path as you move forward you have as well, which is again only going to work in your favor, at least based on your overall feedback so far. And that's how I would see things as well. And I'm sure that you can agree on this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I know you've mentioned the mobile app and an overall kind of approach, and I know this is more of a simple question, but I just wanted if you can elaborate. Has GlowUp improved your members' digital experience within the associations that you're currently managing? And if
Yeah.
so, what would be the primary benefits that perhaps you would see members taking advantage of?
Yeah. I think what was very interesting for us, it happened like 2 weeks ago, I guess. Normally, if we have a gathering or an event, we were used to sending an invite, sending 2 or 3 reminders, and then send a confirmation like a week in advance. So people were informed and know where to go and what the program was. And 2 weeks ago, we had an event, and I forgot to send the confirmation out like a week in advance. Um, but nobody noticed it and nobody said a thing. So we were like, okay, in the old days, if this happened, everybody would ring us and send us mails where I need to go, what's need to be happening. But then for the first time we saw that if you don't send that mail, but every information is in the app, everything
Mhm.
is at your disposal. So you can literally don't send that email anymore and people know what to do and where to go. So that really had us thinking, okay, that's after 3 months. What's going to happen within a year? And are you still going to send invites, or are people just going to look in the app and just join your events and know where to go? And so it was like an eye-opening experience for us because we've been doing this work now for 22 years, and it was the first time that we didn't send the confirmation just because we forgot. Actually, because of it was a bit busy, but nobody was missing it. So that was quite an aha experience for us because then you know it is working and people know where to find the information, and that was actually quite nice. Yeah,
Okay, I mean, with regards to that, I would say it's because it's also, I mean, the interface is not very heavy or very technical as well. So from that perspective, I think it helps because everybody knows exactly where they need to go and they kind of have a clear understanding of what they can access when pressing what button, right?
yeah. You can really see everything at a glance, and what we also really like is that you actually, when we do the intake for events or productions, we actually use just the content blocks that you provided to do the intake. And after the intake, every information is live in the app and on the website. And we actually use like the output generated on the website to do our social media posts. So we just take a screenshot of the program or the speakers. And that's what we use again for like social media posts. So we now truly have one single point of information. And from that, everything is generated and everything is up to date. And
Mhm.
we had so many times that the information in the mail was contradicting the information on the website, was contradicting the information which we had internal, just because one thing changed and not everybody was up to date. And now
Okay.
my whole team knows what I'm doing. Everybody sees the intake that I have done. Everybody can send from that intake the invitation to our members. So we save so much time, and we actually don't have those mistakes anymore. And that's very nice to see. Yeah.
Really happy to hear about that, Dirk. So congratulations. And I wanted to ask you and touch a bit on the support from Go Up now that you're live. How has the support been throughout the process?
Yeah, for us it has been great because we're actually situated in the Netherlands, and you're obviously a big international association management company. So what we notice is even every day within 10 minutes we had like received information from you guys, because that was like the hassle you take if you go from a national partner to an international partner, of course. But the support has been great actually. So we receive an answer within 15 minutes most of the time. So that's very up to standards. Even in Netherlands, we are not used to that. So that was actually quite nice. And especially during the onboarding, because you want to rule out like user errors. So sometimes, okay, why isn't this working? And it was because we weren't using the tool right. So then it's very nice to have like a big checkup on, okay, are we doing things right? And if you receive within 10 minutes, you're doing it right, no worries, then you're satisfied and you don't need to wait for 2 or 3 days. So that it was actually very beneficial, especially during the onboarding. And now you see that, we had contact like 6 times a day, and now you're back to maybe once a week with some questions. And so, especially during the onboarding, that's very nice to have. Yeah.
In terms of responsiveness and clear
Yeah.
communication, I would say this is one of the important things that we kind of take as one of the most important aspects throughout the onboarding process to make sure that our clients do receive everything that they need in terms
Yeah.
of getting onboarding, because you don't want to be stuck too much at the same time, but not necessarily speed up the process in a way in which, you're kind of skipping up a couple of steps that further down the line might come back and be a nuisance in
Yeah.
terms of it. Yeah.
But I think also from your members' perspective, because most of the times that's where the questions are being generated. They don't know what to do. They ask us, and then if we don't know what to do, you really want to respond fast. So it's not only about us, but it's also about our member base that they get their answer quickly. So that was truly to satisfaction. We can really work fast. So that's nice to see.
I'm really happy to hear that. So yeah, and I would say seeing as you're working very closely with your members, have has there been any feedback on the new platform from your members so far in terms of the event experience, the mobile app, or any other activities that you've been running through Glow Up where the members kind of interact? Have they mentioned any feedback with regards to their experience so far?
Yeah. Well, actually, we were expecting some resistance, I think, because they are used to the way we communicate for 22 years already. So, but we actually didn't notice any resistance at all. I think especially for us that there is an app, for sure, regarding on how mail servers work in big organizations, that they get the information they want to have regarding the membership. So that's also nice. I think the only thing they are missing, but I think that's actually still a great thing that it's missing. We really had the option to cancel your registration. If you came to an event, we had like a button, I can't join anymore. But now they need to mail or need to phone us. And I think that only contributes to the no-show being that low. And also people don't cancel that easy anymore. So I think it's actually, for them, it's maybe they're used to that and it's not possible anymore. For us, we see that we have more members now because they really feel like like an obstruction to cancel the thing. And we know we are so busy, so if you just can hit a button, I can't join anymore this afternoon, people will do it. And now they think, yeah, let's just go. And if they come, they're always happy. So we're actually quite so it's feedback, and we are saying, yeah, the feature, maybe it comes, but actually I don't hope it comes, because it's better if they just feel like
It seems that the lack of this particular feature kind of works in your advantage. So from that
for now,
perspective,
yeah, for now.
but yeah, I would say that would be the list of questions that I had for today, Dirk. And again, I really appreciate you making the time. I'm really excited that you guys are kind of taking advantage of Glue Up properly in terms of, enhancing your experience, not only saving time within, from an operational perspective, but also it seems that for your members, things are working tremendously, especially when you've mentioned the event with your with I would say being so busy, forgetting to send I would say the reminder email for your members, but
Yeah,
them actually joining. I think that's a very good example on how, how user-friendly a all-in-one approach can be, especially if the interface is actually user-friendly and simple to use. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that you might want to add to the conversation today.
no, actually, we're quite happy how things go right now. So there's still a lot to optimize, especially from our side. But yeah, it looks promising moving forward. We really are looking what's behind the horizon. So very
Of
curious
course.
about that. Yeah.
Of course, and we'll definitely keep you posted. We always have those updates that we release either weekly or monthly in terms of new functionality. So we have a lot of interesting things planned for this year on the product roadmap. So yeah, stay tuned, and I can tell you that you're going to be blown away, so to speak, in terms of it. But yeah, I think this would sum up the conversation for today. Again, really appreciate the overall feedback and really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and experience with us so far. Really appreciate everybody for joining the session today. Wishing you a very successful rest of the week and a very relaxing weekend.
Thank you.
Take care. Cheers.